Welcome to Nasa Hatasha. If you enjoy unique post-apocalyptic settings and creative narratives about survivors adjusting to life on a devastated planet, then these 10 shows are a must-see. They employ inventive storytelling techniques to offer their own interpretations of the post-apocalyptic theme, and features armies, aliens, and some other inexplicable calamity, while managing to strike a balance between action, terrible dangers, character development, and desolate yet gorgeous landscapes. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Curfew. It is a post-apocalyptic dystopian action series created by Matthew Reed. The show is centered on a future in which an infectious disease has taken hold, and the authorities have instituted a harsh curfew every night in order to control the spread of the disease. The main plot is about a group of people who compete in an unlawful road race between curfew hours, and the person who wins is guaranteed a ticket out of the quarantine facility to a secure environment. The story moves forward as partnerships and relationships are formed and broken throughout this frantic race, where individuals sacrifice everything for victory. The post-apocalyptic atmosphere, a group of various characters, and intense action sequences all wonderfully complement the story concept. The show merges themes of racing, survival, and suspense as individuals juggle the risks of the competition and the obstacles of the surroundings in which they live. If you enjoyed the show Blood Drive or the recent hit Twisted Metal, this is the show for you. Its gripping storyline and creative premise give an entertaining perspective on the dystopian genre, thanks to its unique fusion of high-stakes racing and science fiction. Number 9. Black Summer. It is a post-apocalyptic horror action series created by Carl Schafer and John Hyams. The concept of this zombie apocalypse series is a bit different, giving viewers a different perspective on the same events during which they watch different people struggle to survive the initial unrest. There are 2 seasons of the show thus far, and a third has not yet been confirmed. The show takes place in the initial stages of the zombie pandemic and features a team of survivors attempting to flee from violent criminal groups and cross a world ravaged by zombies in quest of a haven of safety and their split loved ones. The storytelling style of the show is unpredictable, which increases the stakes and leaves viewers wondering about the individual's fates and the story's ultimate path. The show's chaotic action, convincing depiction of survival skills, and rough primal cinematography masterfully conveys the coldness and despair of the character's quest for survival, while the incorporation of lengthy scenes with minimal to no dialogue contributes to the impression of intensity and threat. Black Summer is a must-watch for people who like a more grounded and unabashed approach to the zombie genre, even though the show's storytelling approach may not wow everyone. Number 8. Yakima's S-245. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi thriller series created by Jason George. This show is set in the same universe that includes the Into the Night series, in which passengers on an airplane attempt to flee the radiation from the sun, which appears to be killing humans. Whereas this story follows the submarine and its passengers as they attempt to flee the sun's lethal waves. The show is set in a distant future, where a massive sun flares out from the sun's surface, killing humans in bizarre ways. The story revolves around Armin, a biologist, and his colleagues who are conducting underwater studies, unaware of this threat, being saved by the armed forces submarine, known as the Yakima's S-245. They are forced to work together with the military personnel on board in an effort to keep themselves from the threat above the surface. Although I like Into the Night, this story has its peaks, and it connects with Into the Night in an incredible way. Yakima's S-245 can be really entertaining for you if you're in the mood for an absurd, thrilling show. It feels like the 3rd season of Into the Night, but has a few shocking twists and good action that will truly surprise you. Number 7. Dark Hole. It is a post-apocalyptic horror series written by Yoon Yi-do. Although the plot is not directly post-apocalyptic, the backdrop theme is very similar. The main characters are a detective, a junk car driver, and a band of survivors who must battle monsters that emerge when humans inhale enigmatic black smoke from a hole in the ground that mysteriously appears in their town. This phenomenon sets off a chain of strange and terrible events that develop into a gripping narrative in which individuals must face their worst urges and emotions in order to stay alive in an environment invaded by terrifying creatures. Although the show occasionally reminds you of the Sweet Home series, you will see why it is quite distinct. With each episode introducing a new level of intrigue, the horror and mystery aspects combine to produce an edge-of-the-seat emotional drama that makes for a terrifying and exciting watch. It's an effectively written series that offers excitement and fear, and fans of dark horror and survival-themed stories should definitely check it out. Number 6. Anna. It is a 2021 post-apocalyptic dystopian limited series directed by Niccolo Amaniti. The story is about a young girl, Anna, who is trying to deal with a terrible epidemic that has wiped out all of the island's grown-ups. Her life soon takes an unexpected turn when her brother goes missing, forcing Anna to embark on a search. Anna relies on the journal that her mom created with survival rules while she travels far via the decaying town wreckage and comes across survivors battling to reclaim the vast desolated areas. But as the days pass, she realizes that the laws of the past no longer apply, and in order to stay alive in this post-apocalyptic society that demands new ethical standards, she will have to create new ones. Unlike many post-apocalyptic shows, this one has very little to no talk about cures or the origins of the illness. Even though it's only a mini-series, the plot develops into a visually striking show that gives viewers a peek into the bizarre future in which adults die away as they age. Although it mainly depends on the visuals, setting, and action for conveying the story, the plot may feel slightly stretched at times, but that is acceptable considering the main concept. Number 5. Z Nation. It is a post-apocalyptic horror action series created by Carl Schafer and Craig Engler. If you are a serious fan of zombie shows, this is without a doubt the most entertaining zombie apocalypse series to watch. It centers on a team of survivors, commanded by an ex-member of the National Guard, who has been tasked with moving the non-infected person from New York to California, where a research facility awaits his arrival to test his blood in an attempt to develop a cure. However, their journey to California becomes exceedingly dangerous as they encounter rogue armies, swarms of zombies, and several unanticipated challenges that force them to make life or death decisions. The show was not renewed for the 6th season, so if you don't worry too much about how the stories end, there's enough content in the 5 seasons. Along with its striking combination of comedy and horror, the show features a ton of outrageous action scenes with surprising twists that you won't find in other zombie shows. Number 4. Containment. It is a post-apocalyptic drama limited series developed by Julie Black. The show centers on an outbreak that strikes Atlanta and leaves a portion of the region in isolation. Those stranded within must battle for their lives, while state and national authorities try to find a treatment. The plot primarily centers on policeman Lex Carnahan's efforts to maintain order, but when he finds out that his love, Jonna, is caught in the chained region, the problem takes an emotional turn. The show centers on a broad range of characters, involving security executives, doctors, and regular people, as they fight to stay alive and keep the peace in the midst of a virus that is multiplying quickly. The narrative presents an authentic depiction of the moral choices and collapse of society that occur amid an outbreak of disease. The characters' dread, hopelessness, and resiliency as they negotiate the turmoil and unpredictability of their circumstances are skillfully portrayed in the show. Despite having just 1 season, it has a lasting influence on viewers who value provocative examinations of pandemic situations. Number 3. Day 5. It is a post-apocalyptic thriller series created by Bernie Burns, Matt Hullum, Josh Flanagan, and Chris Demarais. The series plays out in a universe where falling asleep results in death due to an enigmatic and inexplicable event. The primary story centers on a crew of individuals involving a night doctor, an addict, and a pilot who are attempting to find the source of the virus while struggling to remain conscious and adjust to their new life. The storyline is gripping and dramatic throughout every episode, as it examines the negative effects of a lack of sleep on the body and mind. The show's most compelling feature is its innovative concept, which deftly and aggressively tackles topics of principles, the continuation of life, and the nature of the human condition. Ultimately, this show is different from all the other post-apocalyptic shows on this list due to the way it explores the emotional and psychological repercussions of a world without sleep, telling a gripping, high-stakes narrative that is continuously surprising. Number 2. Defiance. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi series developed by Rockne S. O'Bannon, Kevin Murphy, and Michael Taylor. The show is set on a post-apocalyptic Earth and shows a planet after a terrible battle, where humanity and several alien races survive in a shaky truce. The show centers on Joshua Nolan, his rescued extraterrestrial child Arissa, and Amanda Rosewater, the city's current governor, as they work to maintain control amid unexpected occurrences that could upend the calm that the community has worked so hard to create. As the storyline thickens and more drama erupts, Nolan discovers secret town mysteries and looks into a number of criminal activities and theories regarding plans to demolish the town, and how they're all linked to Arissa. There is much more to the plot, but I won't go into detail to avoid spoilers. The series' strongest feature is its world building, which conveys an expansive and vivid backdrop for exploring the historical, governance, and interpersonal connections between humans and aliens. The show creates an intricate web of linked narratives that keeps viewers interested by fusing smaller character journeys with larger plots across the course of its 3 seasons. When compared to recent sci-fi shows, the visual effects are decent, but the outstanding action sequences and futuristic tech theme are really great. Number 1. C. It is a post-apocalyptic dystopian series created by Stephen Knight. The story takes place in a world where mankind's successors are without their vision, and having the capacity to see has become a legend. The story revolves around Baba Voss, a blind soldier from the Alchemy group, who uses extraordinary surviving abilities to get through a visually challenged world. The main narrative is kicked off by Magra, who gives birth to twin babies, who seem to have vision. The main plot of Season 1 unfolds as Magra seeks refuge with the Alchemy community, and Chief Baba Voss tries to protect her and his people from the evil Queen's armed forces, which are pursuing the twins. With the third and final season, the show has concluded its plot, and trust me, the second and third seasons elevate the show to entirely new heights. The show's outstanding action scenes and meticulous sets all add to its visually stunning and engrossing appeal. There's a terrific mix of drama, action, science fiction, and survival in this enormous concept that explores how humans function in an environment without eyesight. Overall, it's a daring and visually captivating series that provides an immersive outlook on a post-apocalyptic society, resulting in a worthwhile choice for those who enjoy apocalyptic and science fiction stories.